Hi, I'm Jim with Thin Stuff Music, and we're here today to look at a brand new pedal from Keeley, the Nocturne. This is a new stereo reverb pedal from Keeley, and Robert Keeley's designed this pedal in conjunction with Andy Timmons. This is the follow-up to their wildly successful Halo pedal, and this is just the reverb element from that pedal expanded upon. Now, Andy Timmons, when he would use this pedal, he said that he felt like, especially at higher, wetter settings, the crosstalk between the reverb and the delay got to be a little much, so he wanted the reverb just in its own pedal. So here we are at the Nocturne. Now, this pedal is pretty simple. It's beautifully designed. It's nice to look at. It's got 3 different reverb settings. So if we look at the pedal here, we have Nocturne spring plates. The Nocturne is Andy Timmons' Halo setting. The spring is modeled after the tank and an old Fender amp that Robert Keeley had. The plate reverb is a model of the plate reverb used at Austin City Limits from the very late 60s until I think about 5 or 10 years ago. They got their hands on that and they got their algorithm for the plate reverb from that. So the controls are very simple. You have your on-off function. You have the reverb level, the level of modulation, the decay of the reverb, the tone of the reverb. You can hold this button down to get the alternate functions. So with the tone, you have a high pass filter. If you turn this all the way down, it allows all the bass frequencies to come through. All the way up, you start to attenuate bass frequencies until you have them all the way off. And then the pre-delay controls the pre-delay. So usually with pre-delay, you have it turned pretty low for your standard, plate reverb or spring settings that don't have a long decay. If you have bigger, wetter sounds that have a longer decay, you want to bring the pre-delay up so it takes a moment to bloom. It just muddies your dry signal a little less. Then you have the preset button. So when you engage this, it turns to red. And now the cool thing is you can have a preset for all 3 of these. So if I have it, for example, on the spring setting here, and I engage the pedal, when the light is blue, it's what you see is what you get is what they call it. So it's what's ever set here. Then I can have my preset just by clicking that. So you can have 2 different springs, 2 different plates, so on and so forth. To save your preset, you just depress this button for 2 seconds. And then the status button, when you're altering any of your presets, that'll start to blink, letting you know that you've moved away from a preset. And then, of course, you can just save it as you'd like. You have stereo output. Of course, you can run it mono. Pretty straightforward. It's a beautiful sounding pedal. Robert Keeley said this. They feel like these are their best plate and spring settings algorithms they've had to date. So let's start to hear it and work through what we have. Now I'm playing a custom shop Strat here and a 335. At the top, I had the 335 playing rhythm. I was playing lead, as you saw, with the Strat. All the reverb sounds were coming from this pedal. Now, to hear this thing in stereo, we're going through a Princeton reverb through the aux, and then I have a Tone King Imperial IR, which is their kind of pedal amp for the second side of the stereo image. So it would be akin to if I was running through 2 amps. Which is kind of the point here. Now, this still sounds great in mono, but really to hear the pedal in its full glory, you got to hear the stereo. So here we go. Let's let it rip. We're just going to start with a basic spring, and I'm going to turn this down a little bit. We're going to hear something akin to what you just hear as a standard amp sound. Now I'm going to darken that up a bit, turn the decay up a tad. Now, the modulation knob here would give you kind of an older spring sound, instead of a fresher spring sound. let's move it over to the preset. And I'm just going to leave these stock presets in there just so you can hear where they're set. Now, as you can hear already, we got more of a springy spring thing going on, and that's pretty wet. You know, I would have to imagine Andy Timmons, given the amp setups he's using, he might be running these through an effects loop instead of straight in. When you run it through the effects loop of an amp, sometimes it has to be a little wetter, so I'm going to turn the level down. Now you see when I turn the level down, my light starts to blink, indicating I've moved away from the preset. Okay, let's move over to the plate now. And again, I'm going to start all these off just right in the middle. Beautiful sound. Let's turn the level down. Darken it up. Now, keep that down a little bit. I'm going to use the right side of a brown protein. So it's kind of like a Nobel's ODR1. Let's hear this with a little bit of gain. Very nice, not clouding the signal at all. Very cool. Let's hear the preset. Okay, here we go. So not a super long decay time. Put a little bit of chorus on. Again, if I want to bring the level up, bring the decay way up. Okay, finally, let's go over to the Nocturne side. Now, of course, as I mentioned before, this is the reverb from the Halo. Very atmospheric reverb. And, you know, this is their signature reverb, really, that they're offering with this pedal. So, again, everything at noon. Here we go. Whoop, let's kill that chorus. So let's take the pedal to an extreme and really see what kind of atmospheres we can get here. All right, let's take a quick listen to how it sounds with humbuckers. Okay, now we're back with the 335. Let's hear it with humbuckers. I just elected to use a maple board Strat. That's what Andy Timmons plays. I find that the bright guitars, you can really hear all the characteristics of the reverb a little better because you get all that shimmery high-end stuff. But let's hear it with a bit of a darker guitar. So here we go, spring, everything pretty much straight up. Okay, how about the plate? Let's go to the plate preset. Let's turn it down a little bit. Let's get some gain. Finally, let's hear the beautiful Nocturne. I don't think we listened to the preset here, so let's try that to begin with. Okay, there you have it. A sampling of the new Keeley Nocturne.